Good to see you out here. It's a busy day here, as you all know. The president will be meeting with defense contractors here at the White House in a few minutes with Secretary Hegseth. This is a pre-scheduled meeting, and the purpose of it is to talk about the president's aggressive and fierce support for rapidly increasing the ability of U.S. manufacturers to produce American-made weapons, which we know are the best in the world. The president signed an executive order on this earlier this year. This is a long-held policy objective of this administration, and so he'll be speaking directly with these defense contractors. But of course, as the president has maintained, we have more than enough ammunition, weapons, stockpiles to achieve the objectives of Operation Epic Fury and beyond. After that, you'll be hearing from the president directly at 4 p.m. in the East Room at the College Sports Roundtable. We have coaches and we have scholars and we have athletes from around the country who will be joining. I know some lawmakers will be up there as well. President, again, a long-sought goal is to fix college sports, and so he'll be holding a roundtable to hear from all of these great people in this afternoon, and you'll see him up there as well. Why don't we take a few questions? Sure.
Thank you very much. The president said that we're not going through all of this so that we can end up with another Common A, and he also said that we can keep this up forever. Does that mean that this current mentality in Iran remains in place? You're going to have to keep doing the fight.
I won't get ahead of the president on broadcasting any timelines. What I will tell you is what President Trump has already laid out, which is that the achievable objectives of Operation Epic Fury we expect to last about 4 to 6 weeks, and we are well on our way to achieving those objectives. Annihilating Iran's navy, we know that we've sunk more than 30 Iranian vessels and ships. Their navy has now been deemed combat ineffective, taking out the ballistic missile threat that Iran posed to the United States and our troops and bases in the region. We have done a tremendous job. The United States military has done a tremendous job at achieving that objective thus far. Just 6 days in, the retaliatory ballistic missile strikes from Iran are now down 90%. Of course, ensuring Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon as well, and significantly weakening their proxies in the region, which we know are responsible for the deaths of Americans. And we've seen Hezbollah and the Houthis hardly putting up a fight over the course of the last 6 days. Ultimately, the president has made it very clear he wants to take out the threat of Iran to the United States, and Operation Epic Fury is well on its way to doing that. As for the future of Iran, as the president has pointed to, of course it's in the best interest of the United States of America for Iran to no longer be led by a radical terrorist regime that chants death to America and is lying to the United States and the world about their secret ambitions to possess a nuclear bomb. President Trump does not want to see that. He wants to take an interest in pursuing who the next leader of the Iranian country is going to be, and that has yet to be seen, and the president is discussing it and deliberating it. Kristen.
You just said on Fox that it doesn't really matter if Russia is giving Iran information about military assets. Why doesn't it matter if U.S. military is put in danger by Russia, and is that what the president believes as well?
What I meant, Kristen, and thank you for giving me a chance to make it very clear, is that it clearly is not making a difference with respect to the military operations in Iran, because we are completely decimating them. As I said earlier, we've taken out nearly 30 of their ships. Their navy has been deemed combat ineffective. 90% reduction in ballistic missile retaliatory strikes against the United States and our Gulf Arab and partners in the region. So, of course, we are achieving the military objectives of this operation, and that is going to continue because the United States military is the best and most lethal fighting force in the world. Sure, go ahead, Benny.
Can you confirm if U.S. has taken full control over the airspace in Iran like it's been reported these past couple days? Trump said within hours, within days. Can you confirm anything along those lines?
Yes, we are well on our way to doing so.
Karoline, has the president's faith in Russia to cut a peace deal with Ukraine been shaken by the knowledge that Russia is apparently supplying intelligence to Iran in this conflict?
I think the president would say that peace is still an achievable objective with respect to the Russia-Ukraine war. You saw Special Envoy Witkoff put out a tweet yesterday announcing a new prisoner exchange between both Russia and Ukraine. So it's something this administration still wants to see, and something I know the president will continue to work on.
Has the administration to Putin about this intelligence?
I'll let the president speak on that directly. Mary.
What does the president mean when he calls for unconditional surrender? Is he saying
saying that the regime has to fully relinquish control?
What the president means is that when he, as commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, determines that Iran no longer poses a threat to the United States of America and the goals of Operation Epic Fury has been fully realized, then Iran will essentially be in a place of unconditional surrender. Whether they say it themselves or not, frankly, they don't have a lot of people to say that for them, because the United States and the state of Israel have completely wiped out more than 50 leaders of the former terrorist regime, including the supreme leader himself.
The White House just doubled down on its military campaign against Iran. During a press briefing, Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt defended President Trump's decision to launch Operation Epic Fury, saying the mission is already crippling Iran's military capabilities. She argued that the strikes have destroyed ships, reduced missile attacks, and weakened Iran's regional influence, and declared that there is nothing more America first than taking out terrorists who threaten the United States. The White House press briefing turned into a strong defense of President Trump's military strategy in Iran. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt addressed reporters as questions poured in about Operation Epic Fury, the administration's major military campaign targeting Iranian military assets. According to Leavitt, the operation has already delivered dramatic results. She told reporters that the United States and its allies have severely damaged Iran's naval forces, sinking dozens of vessels and rendering much of the Iranian Navy combat ineffective. She also said retaliatory missile strikes from Iran have dropped sharply since the beginning of the operation. In her words, the reduction is now around 90%. Leavitt framed these developments as evidence that the strategy is working. The goal, she said, is simple: remove Iran's ability to threaten the United States, its allies, and American troops stationed throughout the Middle East. But the administration's message went beyond just military statistics. Leavitt argued that the broader objective is preventing Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons and weakening the groups that Tehran supports across the region. She pointed to militant organizations like Hezbollah and the Houthis as examples of Iranian proxies that the administration believes pose a long-term threat. Throughout the briefing, Leavitt repeatedly emphasized the phrase, "peace through strength." That phrase has long been associated with American foreign policy doctrine, the idea that military strength deters adversaries and prevents larger wars from breaking out. Leavitt said the administration had attempted diplomacy with Iran before launching the operation, but after what she described as failed negotiations and continued threats from Tehran, the president concluded that military action was necessary. In her words, this was not a decision made lightly. It was the result of what she called a cumulative series of threats from the Iranian regime. Leavitt also addressed questions about the future leadership of Iran. While she did not identify specific individuals, she acknowledged that U.S. intelligence agencies are monitoring potential successors and developments within the country. That comment hinted at the broader geopolitical stakes surrounding the conflict. Another topic that came up during the briefing involved the international dimension of the crisis. Reporters asked about Russia's alleged involvement in sharing intelligence with Iran. Leavitt responded by saying that regardless of outside support, the United States military continues to dominate the battlefield. She argued that American forces remain the most powerful and capable military in the world. At one point in the briefing, she delivered one of the most widely shared lines from the entire event. Leavitt said that there is nothing more America first than eliminating terrorists who threaten American lives. That statement summed up the administration's overall message. Supporters of the operation say it demonstrates decisive leadership and a willingness to confront dangerous adversaries. Critics argue that escalating military conflict could lead to wider instability in the region, but the administration clearly believes the strategy is already producing results. And according to Leavitt, the president intends to continue pursuing the objectives of Operation Epic Fury until Iran no longer poses a threat to the United States. The debate over America's role in the Middle East is far from over, and the decisions made in the coming weeks could shape global security for years. Whether you agree or disagree with the administration's strategy, these briefings reveal how the White House is explaining its actions and defending its policies. If you want to stay updated on major political events and international developments, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so more people can follow the conversation.